Star Wars Squadrons is a starfighter flight simulator created by Motive. This same team had previously worked on Star Wars Battlefront 2 story campaign, so it was interesting to see if this experience would affect SWS, especially considering that Motive then partnered with Criterion, which was in charge of space battles. They have now created a game about fighting on X-Wing and TIE Fighter, among other types of starships. Star Wars Squadrons takes place after the events of the Return of the Jedi, but in general, the story of the new game is relatively far from the adventures of the Skywalkers. In the single-player campaign, we alternate playing as a pilot of the New Republic, then as a pilot of the Empire, and at the same time, missions frequently throw one or the other into the corners of the distant galaxy which were not mentioned in the saga. Although there are familiar places too. In one mission, you will be able to fly over Yavin. The global plot is devoted to how the New Republic is trying to create a weapon to help in the war against the Empire. The Empire, in turn, is trying with all its might to prevent the enemy from succeeding. After the announcement of Star Wars Squadrons, one might think that Electronic Arts decided to pull out the Space Battles mode from Star Wars Battlefront 2 and make it a completely different game. This is not even roughly the case. In Squadrons, the control of a starfighter is designed and felt entirely differently, and the accents in the gameplay are on different things. The new game is much closer to flight simulators, although like arcade ones, but still. You can't just get in and fly it in the sense that the tilt of the left stick, for example, literally depends on how much energy you supply the motors. The more you press the button, the faster the fighter will fly. Also, in Squadrons, on these ships equipped with energy shields, you must manually switch them, either balance or concentrate their energy on the front during a frontal attack or rear when trying to evade pursuit. The ship's energy should also be distributed by itself, between the engine, weapons, or shields, if any. In the first case, the ship will have an increase in speed and maneuverability. In the second, the rate of reloading blasters, and in the third, the shield reserve. The entire gameplay is from the cockpit, no matter what ship you fly. The fighters themselves, several on each side, the types of ships are the same in the Battlefront 2. The standard X-Wing and TIE Fighter, as well as bombers, interceptors, and support ships. The feeling of flying is rather strange. It is safe to say that in Star Wars Squadrons, it is necessary to learn to fly. This is important. Better with a gamepad, ideally with a joystick and a VR headset. I understand that not everyone has the VR, but the immersion level would be higher. Although the game also works on a regular screen, the developers successfully conveyed speed and correctly configured the feedback. In the story campaign, the missions do not differ much, although Motive tried very hard to make the tasks different. They are different, but you do the same thing in them. On the other hand, the storyline in this game is just a warm-up before the multiplayer, for which EA held a separate review event. And it turned out that the Squadrons network is a game with great potential. There are two modes in it, the usual 5-on-5 deathmatch and Battles of Flotillas. In the second mode, there is a maximum of 10 real players on both sides, but the AI also controls pilots. The team's task is to destroy the enemy support ships faster than the enemy, and then get to the main ship. And yes, the Empire's main vessel is the Star Destroyer. The destruction of such vessels is a separate conversation. You must first destroy several subsystems and then attack the hull. Fans of Star Wars and those who have long wanted to play a high-quality flight simulator on space fighters will enjoy the game. We don't recommend this for those who dislike the space combat mode for Battlefront 2. In this game, flying is more demanding in terms of gameplay, and the game itself assumes that you will spend a lot of time learning how to play it.